So, I give you 3 seconds to guess the artist of this painting. And if you said this guy, then you'd be right. Arguably one of the best painters of his time, but we know him for something much worse. Forced to wonder, what if the art school that denied him twice would have just let the man paint? The thing is, with a lot of us artists and creators, we are eccentric, weird introverts that just want to be left alone to create greatness. But we still have to eat, sleep, shit, and pay bills like the normies. Knowing you could whip up a 5-star meal like Chef Ramsay, but here you are at a fast food joint with someone half your age saying, "Jackson, 10 minutes late," is enough to turn us to sales. I don't know why the hell we do that. I mean, we're artists and creatives. We aren't salesmen. Most of us don't even like people enough to try to sell them anything. We just want to create and let you marvel at what we did, and somehow be rewarded or compensated for our contribution to society. I mean, other than good job. Because let's be real, what would life be like without the arts? No movies, no music, no paintings. Boring as hell, and we all know it. We'd be like NPCs in a simulation, cycling through the day without a feeling of purpose or inspiration. Ones and zeros in a computer program, like another agent in the Matrix, but this time no lady in a red dress. Truthfully, art is one of the key factors that separates us from other mammals. Yeah, they say birds sing, but I've never heard them hit notes like Luther Vandross, or a gorilla design a skyscraper. But mankind has used the arts as inspiration to create, entertain, and invent some of the things that we take for granted. We are all allowed an opinion, but I think it's a fact that no one hates art, and we all think it's necessary. Of course, we have different opinions on what art is and what is good art, but we know we need it. So shouldn't there be a higher value for all that we contribute to society? Servicing for pennies on the side of a 9-to-5 can become a never-ending loop. So how do we get enough free time to create without being homeless in the process? Now, some may not see the loop, and you look up and someone says, "Hey, how long you been doing this?" And as your lips begin to form the word 40, it dawns on you. God damn, I've been at a standstill for 40 years. Now, me personally, I ain't there yet, and I ain't trying to be either. But ironically, I'm on that same damn journey. So come on, ride with me while they roll my opening credits. Go ahead. Roll the opening credits.
In case you never heard by me, go ahead and grab a seat, it's time to learn by me. Always in the bad bitch dream, spelling with 2 I's and a Z, they call me Briiz.
I'm cool, and my mama named me Carl, but I'm one of the only Jacksons that ain't rich yet. Born on the east side of Detroit on 7 Mile and Van Dyke on Cary Street to these 2 dope people right here. My mom, she was a huge part of my creativity. She used to make us watch scary movies for punishment sometimes, like right before bed. Sometimes she'd be like, "Well, what would you do if that thing was chasing you like that?" She made movies a conversation and showed me the power of creativity firsthand. I remember asking her about an actor that I saw die in a movie before, but somehow he was in another movie. I was like, didn't he get shot in the other movie? How is he in this movie too? The moment she explained it, I instantly fell in love with the idea of people inside a box acting to entertain. And my pops, he worked at Chrysler. He would be up around 2 a.m. to get ready for work and home around the time I got out of school. So of course when he get home, he'd be tired from work. But don't get it twisted, he was like the professor. He didn't give you a whooping, he's gonna give you the speech. You be sitting there nodding out at the kitchen table while he broke down life like a textbook. An hour in and you hear kids playing outside and it was like worse than an ass whooping. Like, okay, Pop, I get it, I'm sorry. I'll take the trash out next week, dang. Not out loud though, in my head, because back then we had this thing called home training, but that's a whole nother story. Anywho, he taught us one of the most important arts, the art of learning.
Check. You know, check in.
Do I know what a check is? How old are you?
Wait, little boy.
No.
Y'all gotta be quiet over there.
I'll go in there and get one.
Huh? Y'all gonna have to be quiet.
You got a strip. He did that. I was bad person. I didn't see no Air Jordan move.
But that's for Jordan.
That's for who?
Jordan.
My mama had 3 boys, so needless to say, the middle child, Chris, and I, we shared a room. This is when we left the east side to head west to 8 Mile and Southfield to do what all decent parents want to do for their children. Give them the best life you possibly can. So now, not rich, but enough to be there, and enough that me and Chris still had to share a room. And he used to, let's say, show me tough love. My mother's firstborn son, Kurt, well, I used to sneak downstairs and listen to him listen to Ice Cube, NWA, Snoop, and Eazy-E until my mama walked past and be like, "Boy, what the hell you doing down there?" And I'd be like, "Oh, nothing, mama. Out down here lifting weights. See, look, mama." And she'd be like, boy, you ain't even sweating. You think you slick. Get your ass up here trying to listen to that cussing music. Okay, mama. And then I'd run upstairs and find some kid shit to do that didn't involve risk of an ass whooping. In 95, I turned 12 and I think Bone Thugs and Harmony came out and I was upstairs writing to one of their songs. And you know, I ain't had an instrumental, so I had to sneak and write to the actual song over the lyrics, which is super hard to do. And my big brother Chris, who we all know I looked up to, feared, and damn near raised me, came in the door and said, you wanna be a thug, huh? I said, why? Because I'm writing a rap? And he just walked out. At 12, I was like, damn, he a hater, or whatever term we used then, but I was too slow to peep that he was talking about the name of the group, meaning that it was different and risky back then to be called Bone Thugs and Harmony. And that's a long-ass name, too, but yeah. The next morning, July 2nd, I was eating breakfast, and he came in and insulted me per usual and said, what's up, Roach? But this time, it didn't even bother me at all. I don't know why, I just looked up and smiled, and he was off to go play basketball. It always felt like he completed the final level of raising me when he insulted me and I didn't whine like a little punk. It felt like he did his job and life no longer needed him. But to me, at 12, knowing how many times I wished death on him because he beat the fuck out of me? Well, no, wait. Not like bruise me up, but you know, big brother toughen up type shit. But I didn't want to be tough. I wanted to paint and draw and create and be great. But he knew what life had in store and what I was prepared for was not enough. Even if I did rap, the rap game might have tried the Diddy part of me, because I was just a young, green, overly talented introvert with a high IQ. So he left out to go play ball and we went to church. And I hated church. I don't know why. I think I was born a scientist or something. I don't know. They used to say stuff that didn't align with science. My little nerdy ass would be like, Mama, but I thought... And she'd be like, boy, shut up and turn around in your seat. But it wasn't just personal to church. I didn't and still don't like large groups of people. But when I'm working, I'm okay. If I'm leading, I'm okay. But just a gathering? Nah, get the fuck away from me. If I can smell your breath, then you're too damn close, period. But yeah, so I'm sitting outside because service was outside and my oldest brother runs up to tell us Chris was in the hospital. He had an asthma attack. And my dumb ass was like, yes. Just happy to be out of church because it was so damn boring. I mean, he had asthma attacks before. And he always shook them off and bounced back. But this time when Chris was at a scrimmage, he had an attack. And supposedly he caught his breath outside because his brand new inhaler wasn't working. Came back in, sat down and told the coach, I'm ready. Got back in the game, had a second attack, which made his lungs collapse. Now this is what I was told. I wasn't there, but at the time, every witness pretty much said the same exact thing, and that was, after the first attack, he should have been done. But supposedly, they were supposed to go play somewhere else, but it was locked, and they wound up going to a different gym that was open. But I guess the ventilation or some shit wasn't working, so X amount of people running around using all the oxygen, it just wasn't working in his favor. And now partially because of my brother's ambition to pass, dunk, and shoot, he's no longer here.
And a tough season, a tough start really with him. They lost a player, Chris Jackson, in the offseason during the summer league. Had an asthma problem and passed away this past offseason during the summer. And they were wearing the CJ on their jersey, the Southfield Blue Jays.
And I was 12 and broken, raged, and vengeful, questioning life and questioning purpose. How is it possible that he actually died after I used to wish death on him as a kid for excessive big bro shit, but the moment it no longer phases me and I'm ready to start the next chapter with him, I have to start it alone and afraid. Yeah, my parents. Yeah, my bro. But I was attached to this one. I just thought he was the coolest guy ever. I remember my brother told me, if I die first, I'm gonna come back and tell you what it's like on the other side. And I said, okay, same here, I will too. I wasn't all that scared to death because I trusted him more than anything or anyone. If Chris said it was safe, then it was safe. If it wasn't, then Chris was gonna beat the fuck out of anyone looking at me wrong. I mean, I was tiny. I'm still tiny. Shit, when I was 12, people probably thought I was 8.
You have something to say? No. Why not? Look at that sexy body run.
He told me, you little, so when you fight, you gotta go for the kill. You too small to be exchanging blows in the pocket. You gotta yap that motherfucker in the throat as hard as you can, like yap. And then he'd demonstrate on me with like a quarter of the power it takes to kill me, and I hold my neck, tears in my eyes, like, damn, that shit hurt, motherfucker. I used to think he hated me because I was the cute little brother that stole all of his attention. But I get it now. Those ass whoopings were the warm leather jacket that he left me to prep me for this cold world. The next morning, one of my best friends, Brandon, came over and heard the news and said, damn, I guess the basketball dream's over, huh? And you know how in True Lies when he bopped Dog in the face? Yeah, had one of them moments. But, I ain't do it. But I did wish death on him. And that was wrong. I was wrong. We were both wrong. Just two young, green kids experiencing a huge first death. For both of us. I mean, Chris was like his big brother too. I mean, me and Brandon go back to the sandbox. So yes, at 12, I had the rage and the IQ to become the mustache man. But I didn't. I ran to the arts. I ran to rap.
We stay a while, we still wild, like Golden Child. And Ace One, we hold up the funds, we got guns. It's KP, nigga, and it's KP for life. It's Continental Records, and we bringing the strife. Yo, it be the Vega, it be the Tide and the Ride. This the mill burn, ain't no way for you to hide. We burn down villages with the children in it. Then the motherfucking children at the core get the spinach. Yo, take your motherfucking, oh shit, give a fuck. Fuck
A childhood friend, Jason, and I started a record label called Continental Records. As early battle raps and freestyles started to build a buzz, he signed me early. We started recording with his mother's childhood best friend, Mr. Meadows, and this was a hell of an opportunity for us. We in the hood, but dog got bread for real, for real. I'll never forget him looking me dead in the eye with a piece of chicken in hand. And he passed recently, so I'm gonna say this with no disrespect to his family because he was a good dude to us for sure. But he pulled out a little black book and said, when y'all get famous, y'all gonna get one of these with everybody's number in it. And he opened it and flashed it to us, but closed it fast so we couldn't memorize it. And try to call and bother Michael Jackson about a record deal or some shit. And he closed it, put it down, picked up his chicken again, looked me in the eyes, chicken in hand, food in mouth, and said, and don't be surprised if you walk in the party and see Puffy sucking a d. I was like, what? And he said, yeah. And Michael Jackson's voice ain't really like that. His voice deep in real life. I was like, wait, what the hell? He said Puffy sucking a what? I'm still processing. And here it is, I don't know how many years later. Never mind. Anywho, I was warned early and on guard, and from there determined to be independent, especially after me and Jason fell out after he tried to remove me as co-CEO and lead artist to just artist because I was going crazy after my brother died. So yeah, I had a backup plan with Brandon and I, getting back cool. We started a group called Explicit with just us, on some Nas and AZ type shit. And it was shaking at first. Signed some deals, dropped some tracks, then boom. October 22nd, 2001, on my birthday, he died in a car accident. And I had just gotten a new phone. I hadn't gave the number out yet, and it rang. And it's my brother's best friend, 80, telling me, Brandon's mother couldn't tell you the news, but Brandon died today. And I'm like, what? Nah, it's my birthday. How you even get this number? I just got it. I was just so confused. But when I got the phone, my mother asked me for the new number because she would play him in the lotto. So I guess she got the news and gave him the number like, shit, it's his birthday. I'm not about to be the one to tell him he lost his best friend after he just lost his brother. So, yeah, I got the news like that. And I was broken. So from there, I wound up going to Atlanta. But I went to Atlanta because of what I found out later after Brandon died. That he told my oldest brother, Curtis, that he felt like if he didn't leave Detroit, that he was going to die. So I wanted to leave to go to Atlanta to see what he wanted to go to Atlanta for, since I encouraged him to stay to get this rap shit off the ground. And I'll admit, I encouraged him. But he didn't tell me I feel like I'm gonna die if I don't leave. He just said he was thinking about moving down there. It's shit popping down there. And back then, shit was popping down there back then. But I'm like, nah, you working at Mars. I just broke free from Jason and the record label, so I'm a free artist. We can get this shit popping, man. Me and you. I got connects, everything. We good to go. And that is like a huge burden on me. It made me feel that if I would have just let him go, maybe he would still be alive today. But I encouraged him to stay. And he died on my birthday, after I wished death on him. And this is the second time I wished death on someone that I loved. True, it was years before when we were kids, but man, it just made me feel like there's so much power in words. Was it simply coincidental? So, I went to AIU in Atlanta to take audio 1 and video 1, and long story short, man, that shit was crazy. I'm talking about life of crime, eat pills, crashed out, came back home about 2003 to heal. My first baby mama to be, had 2 daughters in Detroit. My first daughter Layla was born during the big blackout. My youngest daughter Shayla about a year later than my son Jaziel, by my second baby mama about 6 years later, and yeah, shit got even crazier. Not to mention I was robbed at 16 and carjacked with my second baby mama in my first baby mama's car while my hard drive was in the back seat in a book bag, meaning I lost my rap career and half the city's rap career. When I say I've been through it, trust me, I know what it's like to want to create and not be homeless. From Buckhead to the D, from Trinc Studio to Studio Truly, to the lofts on Grand River, to my building on 7 Mile, to about 8 houses I've rented and turned into home studios, to me being a first-time home buyer here today, 42, 2 baby mamas, 3 kids, 3 dogs, a girlfriend, and a business plan that I've been cooking up for 20 plus years. That is the cure to the disease that is the starving artist.
the wild. Rage against the wild.
Back with a cannon and knock, nigga strapped with a cannon and ain't no pretty. Back to it, in your brain, fuck nigga, got so
This is how I paint my picture.
Earlier, I played a freestyle of mine that clearly wasn't my best work, but you gotta admit, I did get better.
Bet my money on me, and the money line looking like I'm +3 million for me to ever see that B. Nigga, do you know how many odds I beat? No squares, no drink, don't eat no meat. In my bubble with 100 with my ancestry. Put both my hands and my heart on 3. I bet my money on me.
And don't get me wrong, if one of my singles popped off, yeah, I know how to make something shake. But even then, the money would come from real estate, resale, shows, or monetization, not the CPM that a rapper would receive. I got 58,000 spins and made about $53. If I were one of my clients paying $50 an hour for studio time, I'd need 50,000 spins just to break even. And that's assuming I didn't get a mix and master or shoot a music video. You can imagine how many spins it'd take to actually turn a profit worth aiming for if I did those. The first year I got my own space on Grand River at the Lofts, I made about $45 that December, and I was ready to give up. I called my dukes like, mama, it don't look good. I only needed $285 to stay afloat, and I only made $45. She said, well, baby, you know, next year you're gonna have to have some money put away before December hit. She diverted my attention from the failure and rerouted me to the goal. Get back to it and do better next time. And I did. So I bought my first camera and started filming music videos for some artists that I met over the years. And when we first got there, my man Rio that assisted me that day, he told us about this other spot that was over there that had a lot of colors in the background, good graffiti. So we mobbed over there, check it out. Got a couple dope shots over there.
Probably was doing that couple stops over there.
Yeah. The angle ain't right yet, but I'm gonna get a close up of you looking in the mirror. Then when I pan out, I kind of wanted her to be already like right here. And then you can turn around and...
Who was her?
The principal, I'm sorry.
Kiera. So.
And then she could be right here and then you can kind of deliver the lines that would have been after. You know what I'm saying? That's so I know where to sync it up at. Okay. On that part of the routine. That's in the second verse?
Yes, it's in the second verse.
Okay. And my Dukes being right again about next year's approach for December gave me newfound confidence. And that confidence took me back to where it all started. The origin of my creativity before it all went wrong. With me and Chris making scary movies with that camcorder. Even those shots earlier with my pops playing basketball, that was Chris holding the camera. We both love that damn camera. The filming, the acting, the special effects, all of it. I have no idea where that camera is at today, but we both love that damn camera. So when the studio was slow, the music videos would pick up. But even still, this style of servicing wouldn't be enough to crack 6 figures. True, they come in talking Maybachs, then they ask can they slide for 40 for the hour. And you broke as hell and you wanted to say no, but you gotta take that punk ass 40 and keep it pushing. And don't get me wrong, I have plenty of dope clients that pay what they weigh, no problem, but it's ups and downs. So when I say rap don't pay, I don't mean just you need the right single and then you'll blow. I mean, it doesn't pay per spin. Sure, Drake's CPM might be higher than mine, but even then it doesn't match the actual value that we bring as artists. And that's the core issue. Rap, like every other creative lane, gets filed under one word, art. And the second they label it art, it drops straight to the bottom of the payout chain. It's not about talent, it's about category. And artists always end up last in line. Even a financial advisor might pay us creatives to edit their finance video for YouTube, but they'll likely profit way more off that same video than we did editing it. Again, bottom of the chain. But ironically, art is more in demand than finance. Art is being consumed more than anything on earth outside of essentials, if you ask me. High-end fashion, music, movies, art, everywhere you look. From commercial ads to branding to marketing, it all relies on art. Yet, artists keep getting the short end of the pay. Do you see the problem here? We sell the illusion of being self-employed DPs to avoid the 9 to 5. But now it's broke for 3 weeks, then boom, 8K. Then broke again for 2 months. And let's be real, if we were broke for 2 months before that check hit, most of that 8K is already gone. Remember that episode of The Cosby Show when he broke down budgeting for Theo? And he had the money in his hand, he kept taking it back, rent, food, gas. Then he asked if he had a girlfriend, and when Theo said yes, he took the rest. That's what it's like getting paid as a self-employed DP. So as a creator trying to stay artistic and make a living, I went from rap back to movies, where I started before my brother passed, where I should have been all along.
What the fuck, man? What you doing, bro? Oh shit, bro, don't you owe me?
You have a clear understanding what kind of bad guy you dealing with. I'm the last motherfucker to play with.
So you gonna kill me and you know I didn't even do shit?
Nah, I ain't gonna kill you.
Yes, you are. You kill everybody. We all know that. You ain't even gotta prove a fact. We all know you the man, Reggie.
See, the problem with that is, I hate it when people call me Reggie. Fuck made you think you can call me Reggie. It's all right.
What up, though? Hey, what up, though? I really appreciate you for responding to my email. I wanted to talk to you about the 360th brand. Brandon? Yeah, Brandy from BC. You know Brandy and Charles? It's like a play on Bonnie and Clyde.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't give out 360 deals. It's me a bot or something, trying to scam me.
It came from your email, though. The same one I emailed to book this meeting.
What's your name again, man?
Marcus, sir.
Marcus. How tall are you, Marcus?
6'5".
6'5". See, I think you know a little bit more than I thought. I think you just brought your 6'5" Jolly Green giant ass here to press me. Is that what you're doing, Marcus?
No, sir. Definitely not. All due respect. I was just replying to the offer.
Ain't no fucking offer. Fuck out my limo, man.
Oh, I ain't even ready yet. 3, 2, 1, action. All right. Filming my own feature films has always been the goal, and it's not that I didn't want to, it's just that when this bill due and that bill due, it's kinda hard to. Not just for me, but for cast and crew. They have bills and a life as well. Although footing the bill as a DP and giving out a split is a solid investment for indie filmmakers. A way out of the loop, but servicing for sure. But the crew still gotta eat, the crew still gotta travel, so how do we find time to do it without being homeless? For me, I linked up with a guy who started booking me commercials, and that gig ain't half bad actually. I meet a lot of CEOs, there's a lot less fronting like they got it, and more so, will my commercial actually air? Which it does, of course.
You got the drone shot?
I got the drone shot.
Yeah, we good.
If that truck moved, though, I might get another shot.
Okay. Our truck?
No, yours is cool. Yeah, on the side.
Yep, he's gone.
Okay, cool. I'll get that extra shot then. I guess I'm gonna get one more wide. Yeah.
Okay, that's on you. All right, Jack, great job, man.
Thank you, sir.
As always.
But even still, if they aren't in a consistent loop, then you're right back to waiting on that phone to ring. And if your prices aren't above average, you will be overwhelmed with work, period. That's the loop that we thought we avoided when we said, fuck that 9 to 5. But the starving artist isn't just choosing to be broke, we choose to be true to who we are, and that results in us being broke. We often refuse to move like sharks and raise prices out of fear of losing sales. But who cares? The fucking phone wasn't ringing much anyway. It's not that we're not hungry enough, we're just sickened from the plague that is the starving artist. The plague of low CPM rates, hype dreams, empty promises, the never-ending loop of waiting on the phone to ring to make money that you've already spent because you don't get a check every Friday. So you push back due dates and you eat those late fees. Streaming platforms in cahoots with the system, designed to keep genius minds distracted and our banks broken. How can we find time to be great when we're always busy making someone else great? When do they hear our stories, see our direction, our vision? When do we, the magicians behind the curtain, get the respect on our names? We carry so much weight in this world so that society can function. You don't gotta drive to work in silence. You get to ride with music or with podcasts. You don't only see the ghetto around you, you get to escape in photos flashing with sound waves that make you feel something. That is our cinematic agenda, to make you feel again. While big wigs are twiddling thumbs profiting twice off of our entertainment, maybe because of what history has showed us we were capable of, but one man's wrongs will not be the umbrella over us as artists. We are not the mustache man. We are creators with too much pride for a 9 to 5, but our work for others is held high for all to be in awe. We live and breathe for that moment someone watches the original that we've written, we've directed, we've filmed, we've edited to make you feel alive. So, it's 2025, 30 years after my brother passed. I know he'd probably be proud of me and what I've accomplished after all I've been through. But, like Negan once said, while bashing a man's brains in, I'm just getting started. Yes, considering where I came from, I am doing all right for myself. But I'm tired of hearing it's going to be all right or just struggling to sustain what feels like bare minimum. I told my girl I feel like I'm either going to be homeless or extremely successful. And that's a terrifying fence to be on. Because I'm going to be real, as an artist, my superpower was not in finance. I've gotten some extra money and immediately bought gear to create with. I was just as guilty of calling any extra dollar spending money, as if it wasn't a resource that could be building interest in a savings account. I'm not going to pretend it's not incredibly hard to save when you're just not making enough to save, because I've been there. But I've learned from my own and others' mistakes. I had to take accountability for my own money management and stop blaming the system for my lack of foresight. The system had nothing to do with me wasting money that could have gone towards building a larger, self-sustaining system for me down the road. Against all odds, I've closed my home recording studio and discontinued servicing the public. I trimmed it down to friends, family, and VIP. And don't get me wrong, I'll still pull up and film a commercial to stay afloat, but really, just being honest, it's my turn to focus on me unapologetically. It's rough though. And see, that's the thing I hate about this kind of service industry. If my clients are broke, then I'm broke. And I don't like that shit. Yeah, I can get a steady job like at a TV station, but motherfucker, that's a 9 to 5. I picked up the camera to get away from a 9 to 5. It's cool. I'm standing on business. If it rings, it rings. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what I have to do is keep writing, keep casting, keep booking shoots, and keep shooting. All while a discouraging cloud of doubt looms over you, whispering, every mortgage payment late, phone bill needing an extension, DTE needing an extension, truck needing work, gutters need fixing, surrounded by chaos and survival mode. Still, here I am at this desk writing. Yes, I was the light that attracted the broken in the past. I've helped many to heal. I gave guidance and shelter. I gave time, I gave energy, and I'm tired, motherfucker. My light was flickering, so I had to recharge my light. I paid my debt to society 1,000 times over, and if you know, you know. But before I run another 10 hours for $100 or $100 run and gun music video deal and let some people almost my son's age point loaded guns in my camera ever again, my business plan had a better idea. This documentary is one of many films to come where the profits from said docs go directly to a savings with a high interest rate to generate the target goal faster, to fund the end of my servicing nightmare. Of course, the goal is to generate enough money that the money makes money, but I want to help along the way too. So part of the process is teaching others to service. And they'll use that as practice to become great filmmakers up tomorrow. After completing their training, they're offered an opportunity to open their own Trinc Studios, where they'll repeat the process, giving opportunity to filmmakers globally. My background in filming commercials showed me that advertising makes the world go round, so I understand the concept of viewers paying with their eyes, meaning you get to watch a free movie as long as you watch these commercials. So I'm going to train other filmmakers to film commercials that will most likely run on the same sites that our films are streaming on. So yes, I'm building the foundation, buying the gear, and teaching them to go through what I went through to learn to be a predator. Well, not like that kind of predator, but a producer, director, editor, and writer. Because I see the project from beginning to end, and it's less of that telephone effect diluting the vision. I'm training one-man bands to lead skeleton crews to create everlasting greatness as my way out of this loop. This documentary itself is my candidness, my confession. It is me being real with you about my failures, hoping that you can learn from them and do better. Also, take the business just as serious as the art, or stay stuck in the loop. You have to put funds aside for your project, and not just in a shoebox, somewhere that can generate interest, because the cost of our goals may change as the economy progresses. So $100 in a shoebox now is $100 in a shoebox later. That doesn't mean the $100 will have the same value it did when you put it in the shoebox. But yeah, write a solid project and don't just complete it, execute that motherfucker. Not only do you check all the boxes, you find new boxes and you check them motherfuckers too, and keep dropping them. And maybe you don't want to open a film studio. That's fine. Let me handle that. But you gotta wake up. Not just filmmakers, all artists that are stuck in the loop of I have to sell this to live or I have to do this to live. Because that ain't the way we want to live. That's survival mode. We gotta find our ideal overhead, do the calculations of how much money do we need for interest to generate our overhead costs, and boom, that's your target goal. And then I think you'll see a new level of creativity develop. Of course, nothing's like creating from the gutter, But that shit is daunting. Wondering if your phone will even be on tomorrow for a client to call you and offer you $50,000 for a movie. I know I'm doing that right now, but what I'm also doing right now is not giving up and putting action to the plan. So yes, mama raised the artist, but my pops built the scientist. Kurt taught me how not to abuse my power. Chris raised me right to be diligent, to move strategic, to survive the cold, and like the mustache man, I am locked into my obsession to create. So just let me shoot. Thank you.
In case you never heard about me, go ahead and grab a seat, it's time to learn about me. Always in a bad bitch dream, spelling with 2 eyes and a Z, they call me